Alligators are very large reptiles. An alligator is also a crocodilian, which means they're close cousins of crocodiles. But unlike crocodiles, which can be found on all continents except Europe and Antarctica, they are native to the United States and China. Stay with us to know more about unique traits of alligators which makes them different from their counterparts, crocodiles and gharials. Scientific name: Alligatoridae. They live a solitary lifestyle. The name alligator is probably an anglicized form of el lagarto, the Spanish term for the lizard, which early Spanish explorers and settlers in Florida called the alligator. Later English spellings of the name included Algarta or Algarto. Alligators, along with crocodilian, have undergone very little evolutionary change since the time of the dinosaurs. American alligators appeared about 84 million years ago, and their ancestors evolved more than 200 million years ago. Alligators are often called dinosaurs or dinosaur descendants because they are more closely related to dinosaurs than other modern reptiles. Several species of alligators have gone extinct also. Genus Alligator belongs to the subfamily Alligatorinae, which is the sister taxon of Caimanae. Together, these two subfamilies form the family Alligatoridae. Right now, only two extant species are present: American alligator and Chinese alligator. Even though the two species live on opposite ends of the world, they live in very similar habitats. Both inhabit primarily freshwater habitats. However, the American species also live in brackish water, which is a mixture of freshwater and saltwater. Some of their favorite ecosystems include swamps, wetlands, marshes, lakes, rivers, etc. Occasionally, they show up in swimming pools and man-made fish ponds also. Each species has its own specific distribution. The American species lives throughout the coast of the southeastern United States. The Chinese species lives in China. It has an extremely restricted range and lives only in a tiny portion of eastern China. An average adult American alligator's weight and length is 360 kg and 4 meters, but they sometimes grow to 4.4 meters and weigh over 450 kgs. Their eyes, ears, and nostrils are placed on top of their long head and project slightly above the water when the reptiles float at the surface, as they often do. Alligators can be differentiated from true crocodiles by the form of their jaw and teeth. Alligators possess a broad U-shaped snout and have an overbite, that is, all the teeth of the lower jaw fit within the teeth of the upper jaw. In contrast, true crocodiles have a narrow V-shaped snout, and large fourth tooth on each side of the lower jaw projects outside the snout when the mouth is closed. Alligators are very cunning in nature. They strike when their prey least expects it, and that's why they never miss their target. Hence, the spirit animal is a reminder to be impeccable in your action and avoid excessive impulsiveness. Their DNA is one of the most ancient and resilient. This wisdom confers them great calmness, as they do not tend to doubt their action or worry about what is to come. A giant alligator is like an armored battleship, protected by a shield of horny plates on his back, fierce teeth in the bow, and propelled by a powerful tail capable of breaking legs of prey or intruders. The only weakness is a brain that limits thinking to eat, bite, fight, mate, and start all over. Like all crocodilians, these reptiles are carnivores and therefore not choosy eaters. This means that they only eat meat. They are incredibly opportunistic, preying upon virtually anything that they can subdue. Bigger individuals can kill and eat larger prey. Some of the different types of prey that they take include fish, insects, snakes, lizards, birds, raccoons, feral pigs, turtles, and more. They can even consume fruit beside their favorite meat. Animals that eat alligators include bears, birds of prey, fish, hogs, otters, raccoons, snapping turtles, wading birds, humans, and other alligators. An alligator lays eggs that can be eaten, and both juvenile and adults have many natural predators and fall prey to a variety of species. The biggest threat to an alligator are humans and other alligators. Alligators have existed as a species for more than 150 million years, have evaded extinction, and are on the top of food chain with no threats from other predators. American alligators produce very low-pitched rumbling roars, so-called bellows, frequently used during mating season. Both males and females emit loud roars when they are mating, so loud they give alligators the title the loudest replies in the world. For reference, their calls can reach 90 decibels, about as loud as a lawn mower, while human vocalizations typically max out around 70 decibels. Their average speed on land is about 30 miles per hour. However, they can only sustain this speed for a short distance only. Alligators are generally slower on land than they are in water. Large male alligators are solitary territorial animals. On the contrary, smaller alligators can often be found in large numbers, close to each other. The largest of the species, both males and females, defend prime territory. Both species live primarily nocturnal lives, hunting mostly at sunset and throughout the night. Younger animals are more social than adults. They congregate in large numbers to bask in the sun or feed on prolific food sources. Particularly as the breeding season arrives, they become more territorial in nature. During the winters, both species remain dormant in underground burrows to avoid the cold. After mating, the female builds a nest out of masses of vegetation. The plant matter slowly decomposes or decays. As it does so, the process releases heat, which warms the incubating eggs. The average clutch contains about 40 eggs. After around 2 months, the eggs begin to hatch. When they hatch, the young chirp from within the nest and the mother carefully digs them out. She carries them to the water in her jaws and guards them until they are about a year old. The Chinese alligator is polygamous, so males breed with more females. The average litter size is 3 to 4, and they can have as many as 9 in one litter. Alligators in the wild can live up to 50 years, whereas in captivity, it can live up to 60 to 80 years. American alligators were on the edge of extinction by 1960s because of intense hunting. They were highly appreciated for their meat and hides. Thanks to conservation efforts, Their numbers are significantly increased in the last decades. Scientists consider their species entirely recovered since a few millions of these lizards inhabit the southeast. Chinese alligators are probably the world's most endangered crocodilians. Pollution, overhunting, and massive habitat loss resulted in only 100 or even fewer animals remaining in the wild. While the American alligators is popular throughout the US range, the Chinese alligator isn't as safe. It is critically endangered due to habitat fragmentation and degradation, hunting, natural disasters.